Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're getting some mono blue Namor control. So this may not make any sense. Why play a Merfolk in a deck that doesn't have any other Merfolk? Well, it's very simple. This card just generates lots of Merfolk for you, so you don't need to have a bunch of Merfolk in your deck. Namor brings the Merfolk himself. Look at him. He's got a bunch of Merfolk swimming in the background of his awesome art picture. Whoever did this art just went freaking above and beyond. I love the gold and the blue. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of the list. So we've got Tamiyo in here. We've got Riddler because we are just playing a long game. We've got a bunch of basic islands. So we're only playing 16 lands, but we're able to play Lorien Revealed. So we kind of have a virtual 20 lands. I've done this before. This is nothing new on the Be Excellent channel. A lot of my mono blue builds just don't play Wasteland and instead play this awesome card, Back to Basics, to lock down our opponent's lands. You may be like, can't you fit a Surveil land? Can't you fit a Sanctuary? No, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to lock down all their lands and none of ours. We're not going to worry about Wasteland the entire time. If they want to try to grind us out with Ghost Quarter, go for it. I've got 8 freaking islands over here. And often we do get all the islands on the table. So let's talk about what the end game looks like. So we managed to survive through Tamiyo distractions and through dismembering a whole bunch of their threats and potentially blocking threats if we need to get a Riddler down early or no more. I say early. None of that's going to happen early. We got 4 Force Negations in the deck. It turns out if you have Namor on the table and you cast Force Negation, it's a free counterspell that also creates 2 Merfolk, which grows Namor's power, which also, provides a bunch of like chump blockers and stuff. It's pretty sweet. So I'm hyped. I think this guy was designed for a control shell. Sideboard is our Bay, Narset, Parter of Veils. She's going to come in and lock down control opponents. We've got Piracy Charm, which is very good against the Ocelot Pride decks. We've got 4 Hydroblast just because we don't have much removal. If we go up against a red deck, let's just bring them all in, right? We've got Dress Down. Dress Down is sweet against constructs. And I've got 2 Consigns main. I wouldn't normally do that, but it is pretty good against the Fantastic Car, which I expect to run into, unfortunately. And it can also potentially help us cheat a Riddler into play early, which can serve as a valuable blocker. Or if our hand is empty enough, we can just get a bunch of cards. And one of the reasons I think Force Negation and Quantum Riddler pair really well is it gives you an incentive to go as close to Hellbent as you can get, so you can just draw extra cards. Really sweet interaction. We're going to play a full 5 rounds. See you in the first round. Just a quick thing while I'm waiting for my opponent to queue in. This is a no reserve list deck. You can build this for less than $1,000. You can even, like what I did, I have all my deck lists on Moxfield, and I'll usually set them to like the cheapest possible. I got this one down to like $900. You just play 4 Flooded Strands and 4 Delta. Those are cheaper than the Misties and the Scalding Tarns. So just like our little pro tip if you're trying to economize. It is nice to be able to have 2 of each of your blue fetches, but you don't have to if you want to save some money. These Deltas have been reprinted so many more times than Misties, so little cost optimization. But yeah, let's hear it for Budget Legacy. I don't even know what my opponent's on. I'm not going to bother looking them up. This hand is so banger. Let's just run with it. So what this hand does is it gets this down, and then it goes and Lorien Reveals, and then it Lorien Reveals again if it needs to, and then it sticks Back to Basics. Okay, so they're an island aficionado as well. Respect. But we got Namor. I'm playing 4 of them. The optimal number is certainly not 4, but I wanted to get lots of Namor action so you can just see how splashy he is. Since you get it, he's like a sea creature. And I'm definitely going to want to hold my force until after Namor has resolved. All right, back up Namor. And the great thing is, he's our force pitch now. Not a big deal. If they're on Stifle Pup, they can stifle this first one. It's a 1-for-1. Okay, I am going to go for this. See if they want to try to blow me out with Stifle. They don't. Okay. So I definitely don't want to lose a force fight, and now I don't have to. I'm just going to plop this down. And then what we can do, end step, we can brainstorm if we need to fix our hand at all. We don't really. Our hand's fine. I've got 2 potential force pitches, both the Namor and the Back to Basics. Back to Basics just got better. Let's see if they fetch a non-basic. Nah, I don't think Back to Basics is where we want to be. Monastery Mentor. I have not heard that name in a long time. Let's go ahead and force it. Again, I think we just want to be on the Back to Basics, on the Namor train. Yeah, let's do that. They force back. Interesting. I think I just force again. Let's see. If I can find a dismember, let's go ahead and brainstorm and see if we can find a dismember. We don't find dismember. Tamio does actually well, no, these have prowess. I think we still need to stop it. Yeah, I'm fine with drawing these cards. I don't need the Lorien Cycle, but I probably do want a Lorien Cycle so I can get Namor down. Tamio is also exciting, and I could do Tamio with Brainstorm if they try to plow. That may be the bait the plow so they don't kill Namor. Yeah, and then I don't need to actually Lorien. I can just take a natural draw. I don't need the Ponder because I've already got the instant in my yard. I will put back the Namor just in case I need to emergency Brainstorm again. Because we definitely don't want this Monastery Mentor resolving. We don't have a clean answer to it. Yeah, let's just pitch Namor here. All right, it's gone. Okay, so I'll just take... I want to draw... Actually, I think I am going to go ahead and cycle this. And that way I can just Brainstorm. Yeah. And I do want to make my land drop. I'm going to basically try to make every single land drop I can for the entire game. I'm just going to assume that we're going to get so much card advantage that it's going to be okay. My opponent is getting a good flow state. That's very good for them. Did they find a land? They Brainstorm. That's fine with me. So I'm going to get what I call a perfect Brainstorm or a perfect Tamio. Oh, are we not going to get a perfect Tamio? It looks like we might have to fight. Oh, okay. Casting all the cantrips. Murktide is going to be humongous. Namor does have flying, but it's going to take a lot of cards to stop. And I've already burned 2 of my forces. Murktide would be a nightmare. There's the dismember we wanted. I am going to go for this Brainstorm. Okay. This is not bad at all. So I don't want the dismember anymore. I could just get a Riddler in play. I sadly do kind of want to put back Namor because I can just warp Riddler. I get 2 cards for Riddler. I think it's totally fine. I don't think I want the dismember, but I think they're probably very creature light. I will take the Namor. I mean, I guess I get them both. Yeah, this is just an insane sequence here. Well, plus, let's go ahead and warp. Okay, and they don't force it, so we get 2 cards immediately. We don't get a choice. Do we want the Namor? I don't know that we do. Yeah, I think I'll take those cards. I think I'll take them. Okay, cool. Now we pass. I don't really want to consign. I think maybe I should, but I could just bring them out in a turn cycle. Is there any reason not to just... Sorry, I'm vacillating so much. Yeah, if we keep this around for a turn cycle, they didn't have a plow last time and they just cast a bunch of cantrips. They may not have a plow here. They're low enough that if they have a Riddler and a plow, they could absolutely win the war. I'm going to be minusing to pick up the force. I'm not crazy enough. Oh, they do have the Merc. Well, that's unfortunate and it's huge. Dismember can clear it. I need to regrow the force here. You know what? I missed a freaking opportunity. I could have, there was such a good play. I dismember, then I regrow the dismember. I can still do it, but I don't get the extra cards anymore. And if I just chill, I can kill it in combat. They're down to 2 cards. I think it's safe. I'm going to play a Namor. See if he resolves. Now I'm going to regrow the force. And now Spell Pierce can blow me out. But I should be able to get some extra dudes. And what I'll do is I'll dismember before I block. That way I don't lose the Riddler if they get through. Yeah, I like that. And this is a flyer, but it'll take a few force effects before this is full size. I'm just going to take my time and try to control them. They're we have more cards than they do, and that's how you win. They're going to get a perfect Brainstorm here. I actually might stick, if they fetch and they don't have a third basic, I might stick it back to basics if I draw it. It's really exciting. They're coming in. Let's see how this does. They could plow to blow this out. I'll double block. Well, I'm going to try to fight here. 2 dudes on the stack. First time ever. Do you have a force? I still get my dudes. This is attacking my Tamio. They force back. I could double block and it's... Oh no, I lose. Wait, did they force their own force? What happened? Is this a force on... This is my force. They must have accidentally forced their own force. Is that what happened? No, they forced the dismember. Yeah, I just double block. And they're going to kill one of them. But I'll keep my Tomio around. Yeah, if they have they don't have anything. They're empty. They just have to choose which one they want to kill. They should kill this. Fetching. Oh, no! They're too smart. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That was a punt of the highest order. I should have just let this through. Now I'm really screwed, frankly. They put a flow state on top. Oh, brainstorm. Okay. Yeah, they survive. One of my dudes dies. I can Tomio. I can attack a lot. I don't think I'm going to be able to race them. Wow, they left me with that. I think that was a huge punt. That's a huge punt. I get 2 cards every turn? Are you sure? All right, let's get our cards. Okay. All right. Let's see how many cards we can draw here. We get 2 extra cards. All right, that's not bad. What do I want to do here? I can attack him for 8. This is going to go away, though. If I attack him for 8... No, it's just 6. Yeah, I think I want to find something else. What do I want to find? A consign to keep one of these around? I want to get my hand empty. If I find 2 dismembers, I'll cast them. Let's go ahead and fetch first. Wait, I put the ponder on the stack. Hold priority. Check this out. And then I brainstorm with this on the stack. I think this should work. Boom! Ancestral Recall. I think I keep the Force of Negations. I put back the Dismember and I just chomp for a turn cycle. Did I play a land already? I did. So, yeah, I don't want this island. I can just island cycle to shuffle these cards away. Do I want the Dismember? I don't think Dismember gets us where we need to go, frankly. Huh. Yeah, I think I just any order this. I guess if I find 2 Dismembers, I could kill it. I'm going to any order it. Okay, and maybe that was a punt. I will attack with these ground creatures. And then, no, I'm going to attack with this too. No guts, no glory. Yeah, maybe that was a punt. I am going to need to keep like blockers back from now on. I don't want them to have that. I will pitch the Lorien Revealed here. I don't want them to find another Murktide or I'm just dead. They may kill my Tomio here. They are. That's fine. She's done great. You're the best, Tomio. Okay. Now I untap. I draw. Backup Tomio is great. Check this. So I can play this. I can immediately flip her. This is just disgusting what we're doing here. Yeah, they scooped. Wow, that was insane. Okay, Narset, you're getting in the deck. Do we see more basics? I don't remember, but I definitely don't think back to basics is where we want to be. Dress down, it's okay. I think we just keep it like this. Let's do it. Narset should be pretty good against our cantrip deck. I thought about including Mox Amber, but it does cost like $80. It would be cool. We've got a lot of legendary creatures. If you're like a speculative, like Magic the Gathering, you know, if you like buying and selling cards and stuff, which I like, I'm just in a position where I don't have to think about that sort of stuff working as a software engineer. But like, if you want to make money, I think Mox Amber is my hot pick. Like if I were speculating, I would be picking up a lot of those. So this is solid. We actually do have a pretty good flow state soon. I think Namor can probably kick rocks for a bit. Cool as jets, cool as heels, whatever the term is. So the reason I think we've got a great flow state. Wow, that's a stinky start. But I guess they don't need to like come out of the gate swinging against us. Yeah, we've got Island. I can keep the fetch for later. I think it's fine. So if I Lorien cycle and then I also force something, I'm already in the zone to immediately go up cards, which seems solid. Let's try this. All right, it just happens. Getting some blue on blue violence here. Collateral damage. All right, this is a perfect brainstorm, so I'll just leave it like that. And this way I can flow state next turn if nothing happens. I don't really want to fight against the Monarch or Mentor if that's what they have. Okay, they're not doing anything. Could they have Hull Breacher? I have Force. I think it's correct to just get this in the yard. Okay, so we have Consign. I don't like Consign here. I don't really want to consign a Riddler when I'm ramping up toward it anyway. I'll put this back. Now I can go to Upkeep. They may have like a Force of Negation or even a Spell Pierce here. I mean, there's definitely an argument for just jamming Narset here. She's freaking insane. They could have Felia. Felia could kill my Narset. Not really. I force fight Felia. They may have days. I think it's totally fine to just flow here. I'm going to go for the Narset. This may force a force. And I can force back. This ponder means nothing to me. Yeah, that worked. All right. We'll see how bad this locks them. They may have to Desperation Brainstorm. Yeah, there we go. They do have a perfect Brainstorm. It's not a Desperation Brainstorm. They may find another force. Man, I love playing mono blue. I couldn't do it when I was in China because of all the latency. But here I am. Clickfest. 2027. 2020, whatever year it is. 2026 as of recording. Let's go find another force. I'll take Consign on a Riddler is not terrible. I'll take the Brainstorm because it can be a lot of things, and I can put back the redundant Narset. All right, they didn't have the Felia. I'm vulnerable. I need to find a land. I definitely don't want to re-Narset. I want to force them to get rid of this. It's got to be devastating for them, especially if they're playing something like I imagine they are playing Riddler in their dirtily blue-white deck like I am. Of course, I'm just on mono blue. But man, if I had the money to get these in paper, I would just donate the money probably. These are so expensive. My goodness. I'm not sure how much they are on MTGO. Okay, so if you actually have these in paper, you're sitting on a fortune here. There's so much money. The Place is actually the cheapest one. That says a lot about Legacy. Triumph? That's fine. I don't care about Triumph. Do I? I can't do anything about it anyway. It's exactly the right size for Dismember, which is in my deck, right? I didn't take those out, did I? Yeah, that's fine. You can look at the card, but you can't draw it. Narset, just freaking rocking and rolling. If I can't find a Dismember for this, it's not a big deal. I'll just re-Narset after they kill this. Because I'm going to look at so many cards this turn. Just an obscene number of cards. All right, so let's first... I do want a Lorien. That reduces the number of lands in the deck, but I think that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and Lorien now just to reduce the number of lands so I can increase the likelihood of my hit. It's extremely likely that I hit. Oh! I think the odds of that are like maybe 1 in... They're not high. All right. Actually, you know what? If we riddle into... Oh, man. I think I just flow stay here. I'm fine with them killing Narset. Oh, there. We don't have to let them kill Narset. We get the force. Yeah, we have both because of the beauty of Lorien revealed. Multi-format all-star. I'm just going to do it now. And if it gets shuffled back in, it's chill. Whatever. Yeah, you can redraw that, and I'll just get another Dismember later. I've got 4 of them. Okay. Oh, look who's Narsetting over there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Brainstorm, I think. I can get rid of the redundant Narset. I actually think that's fine. Okay, and they are not able to resolve their own force. So that was pretty sweet. All right, let's go ahead and I'm just going to Brainstorm first. I mean, my hand's perfect. What am I even brainstorming for? Flow state seems good. So I'll flow state first. And no, if I riddle first, yeah, I'll get a land out of my deck too. My son is injured somehow. He's, if you hear him in the background. All right, let's go ahead and warp this. 2 cards. I mean, the game's kind of over. I think we just play the Tamio and pass here. And I'm holding up Force. And I can just play this out of Warp next turn. I've got an extremely strong presence. Like, they're really struggling over there. And I'm taking tons of clock, by the way. Like, I'm very aware. Like when I play blue, I'm just... You don't want me as an opponent. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to fight that. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to fight this. I don't want to deal with Murky Boy. He's a biggin. All right, so I'll just kill him. They're not completely hellbent. Then I'll attempt to cast my Riddler. It did suck throwing away a... Ooh, that's good. But yeah, I want to go ahead and just do this and get extra cards. See if I can draw another force. I've got plenty of forces in the deck. Okay. Boom! Dismember. Love it. So they should draw their chick eventually. Flow state. A stinky flow state as a result of the Murktide. But they can actually get the cards. It's so cool. Narset on Narset Violence. I haven't seen that in a while. All right. Okay, so I can get Yeah. I think I go get the island, then I Namor, and then I ponder, and I get a dude, and I get a lot of cards. I think they're probably going to scoop pretty soon. So I get 2 cards here. Just discussing. Yeah, good games. Keep representing the blue-white. We are the resistance to the car and other horrific fire design stuff from the past few years. All right, I figured out the cause of the commotion earlier. My son has chapped lips, and he got some sunscreen on his lips. So tragic, but not like that big of a deal. In the grand scheme of things, there are things that worry me more. Okay, we're in for a treat. This is going to be a long league. We're up against a control deck with Yorion. I'm going to mulligan this. Ha! Yeah, this is good. So, yeah, I think I just put back Namor, and then I have Tamiyo covered. Definitely don't want her ruining my day. I want her ruining my opponent's day. Fight fire design with fire design. All right, I don't necessarily need 2 of these. I think I can just chill, though. I don't think they're playing Bowmasters. Hopefully they're not. I don't have a... Well, I guess I have an answer to Bowmasters in my hand. But I'll take a lot of damage, most likely. I'll get an imperfect brainstorm, which is almost as bad for a control mage. Not getting the literal maximum value you can get out of your brainstorm feels so bad. There's a ponder. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna move some cards around. I kind of want to hold on to a brainstorm. Now I don't really care about anything. I've got everything I could possibly ever need. I'm going to put back the ponder at this point. I'll keep the dismember just in case like they have like Felia or something. I mean, yeah, I probably should have put it back. Now we're going to Lorien cycle. Just like that, we're in the freaking zone. And then we've got bangers all around backing us up. Yeah, just draw another banger. Why not? Flow state. Can't daze me. Being on the play is OP. Even if you have to mulligan. They're thinking long and hard about forcing this, which tells me they don't have a spell pierce. Force. All right. I think we just chill. You're saying the best brainstorm is the brainstorm you never had to cast, but like I actually think the best brainstorm is the one that you cast like later in the game where you can put back 2 lands. You do actually want to cast it at some point, but it's nice to have it. I did not expect to get this much value out of my Narcissus today, but here we are. This is going to be great. Also, look at all these colors. Back to basics. No! Uro's fine. He's just out of range of Dismember. My Dismember is thumbing its nose at Uro. I fart in your general direction. Okay. Fetching. There's the non-basic. Abundant Growth. Well, that fixes their mana and draws them a card. Yorion's going to arrive very soon. I'm kind of worried. All right, let's see what we can do with this brainstorm. I mean, I could just jam Namor, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Let's see if I can find a fetch so I can shuffle away. Yeah, I think I am supposed to Tamiyo here. I'll play a Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm going to put back the Dismember. Let's Tamiyo. Then I'll just ponder to see if I can find a fetch. Like, I know the top 2 cards in my deck aren't what I want. I mean, Force of Negation might be good. No, I don't think it is. Any order shuffle. I could have absolutely just played Namor and had the Force. There's the land. Okay. So my goal is to force this turn and then to get Riddler up. So pretty much anything they do this turn, I probably want to force it with Namor because Riddler is just so much more valuable at this point of the game than Namor. If they bring back Uro, is that a force-worthy event? Probably. Mystic Sanctuary to get back Force Negation? They're just getting back the Ponder? Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm going to go ahead and force just because Riddler's so strong. They'll have to refill their graveyard, which will take a few turns. Maybe they force back right now. Okay, that's good, actually. So I'm going to have Tamiyo flip, and I'm going to have a Riddler in play. I think I can outrace this. This is a card draw engine, but I immediately get the cards. If they have a plow, it's bad news because then I don't get Tamiyo flip. But they only have 4 plows and 80 cards. They're 18 cards into their deck, though. We're outgunned here. This is definitely not a good matchup for us, but I think Back to Basics will be good if we can find it. Ponder. They're just looking for that plow or Prismatic Ending. It can't be Leyline Binding at this point. It's got to be one of those other ones. They might just be finding a force for whatever my follow-up is, because I wouldn't have forced if I had nothing going on. Like Tamiyo on her own is not going to go toe-to-toe with Uro. Look how quickly they're refilling their graveyard, though. That's terrifying. I don't have a single card in my deck that beats this old trusty Uro. It's just too good. All right, so I'm going to attack, create my clue. I'm 1 mana shy of being able to force to protect warp. So I draw 2 cards, flip my Tommy. There's a dismember. I'm going to island cycle. Yeah. I'm so close to being able to get a second trigger off of this. Oh, what are we supposed to do? I can keep Tommy alive by dismembering. I wish I could have kept this on the table somehow. Yeah, I'll just... Oh, man, this sucks. Yeah, I need to play it out of exile. Yeah, maybe I am supposed to dismember, because then I draw... No, I don't draw an extra card, because Riddler's not on the table anymore. I think it's worth keeping her around for a turn cycle, so I can regrow something good. Yeah, it sucks to do this, but I think it's correct. I can regrow something and distract them for another turn cycle. Now they get the card, so the draw is too late. They may find a exile spell. Volk, okay. Again, I think if I can find... They have so many basics in their 5-color deck, 4-color deck. But I can riddle next turn, and like if I draw a card... Yeah, I don't know that I'll be able to draw a card. If I draw a land, then I can riddle, and I have a card up, and I can regrow the dismember to keep this from attacking at all, because then Riddler will kill it. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they had that answered, huh? Okay, well, that sucks for me. I think I'm probably dead to this thing. I just don't have a good game plan for it. Uro number 2, sure. One of the reasons I quit playing Uro on the channel, first of all, you can never play it in no reserve list decks. You need... The mana requirements are too wild here. All right, let's do this. Actually, I think it may be Namor. And then I can crack a clue. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Okay, and I got another Tommy, which is nice. I just need to force some spell they're casting. But if they put Uro in... Oh, they've already put Yorion in their hand. They may blink Yorion, which yields them so many cards. I think I'll lose to that. Yeah, if they go for Yorion here, I have to hope they go for like... I think I'm supposed to fight this. I get some tokens. Those are chump blockers to keep Uro at bay. And now next turn, I play a Quantum Riddler. I don't even really need to keep Uro at bay. It's just a question of like, how do I eventually deal with this with my mono blue deck? There's not a good answer for Uro. I have to get like a lot of Riddlers out. Did they pitch Yorion at some point? No, he's in their hand. Yeah, I think they just go for a Yorion here and they yield 2 cards. They'll attack first and just take one of my Merfolk. Actually, I might want to just keep the Merfolk around. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to keep the Merfolk and just take this damage. I'm pretty sure I'm playing this suboptimally, but then again, my opponent's on like a giant Yorion deck with like so many colors. They fetch. If they have a second Mystic Sanctuary, I'm going to lose. What? How are you playing all those islands in your 4-color deck? That's crazy. So much for back to basics. I've never seen somebody play so many islands in a 4-color deck. Yorion comes in and gets a lot of value. It does send an Uro to the graveyard, but they can bring it right back. I don't have any anti-graveyard stuff. They'll draw 2 cards. They'll have a giant creature on the table that beats my Namor. They'll have gargantuan amounts of life because they get another card and they draw another. They gain 3 life. Maybe if I counter enough spells, I'll just have a huge Namor army. But even then, he's only 3/4. He's not going to make it through Yorion. I guess I have to hit a Dismember is the path out. Dismember for Yorion, and then they have to spend a turn cycle getting Uro out of the bin. Wait, they may not have to. Actually, I think they can just get Uro right back after he dies, which is crazy. No, they can't. Their 1 land is short. Unless they find a land off of Uro coming. No, that'll be in the end step. They won't be able to bring it back. Okay, so Quantum Riddler into exactly Island Dismember. That's what we're hoping for here. All right, I can play this out just in case they're playing Days over there. Get 2 cards. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think that's the end of the game now because I was really counting on the extra cards there. I don't think it's good enough. I don't even want to show them. Yeah, if I show them, though, I do think it probably has to stay. Gosh, that was brutal. Okay. So Narset obviously coming in. Very good here. Dress down. I don't think we bring in Dress down. We didn't see any black, so I'm not going to... Like, this is really just for Bowmasters. They probably barely have any red in their deck. I think this is actually one of the takeout consigns. Like, I don't want to get my things ahead of schedule. Technically, I can consign the Yorion return trigger It just doesn't feel good enough. It's like, yeah, I think this main deck is fine. Dismember is really just good against Tamiyo, which they may not even be playing. It answers Yorion too. I think, yeah, there's no way that it's correct to not have it in. I'm just going to run. And they're not going after my life, so it's basically just like a 1 mana kill most things spell. We'll just hope to avoid a Yorion or an Uro game, but they did have a lot of Uros there. We saw 2. They may be on like 4 Uro. They're on a weird brew, that's for sure. Basically, once you put a Yorion in your deck in 2026, you're already on, the fringes of brewing. All right. Yeah, this is great. Snap keep. All right. So Namor will be good. We'll just get Tamiyo out. Actually, you know what? I think I'm supposed to wait on Tamiyo. I know it sounds weird. I'll just do the Lorien reveal this turn. And then next turn, I can Tamiyo with Brainstorm Defender. Vista in your 4-color deck. Sacrilege. Every fiber of my being is telling me that my opponent is doing it wrong, but they did just beat me. Yeah, we're so close to getting in the zone too if we find a flow state. Oh, are you going to stifle this? No. Just going to randomly go grab a green card. Okay. That's fine. Maybe they think I'm playing stifle? I don't know. I think I just played the island that they know about, and I'll reserve the right to brainstorm. I don't want them to like find a window where they can like do something like double removal with their green mana. Yeah, I don't know. They could be playing the one that like where I have to like sacrifice a creature. Carpet is going to be pretty good against me. Holy guacamole, is that the sideboard card of choice? Oh my goodness, that's so good against me. I don't think we can win anymore. That's just so devastating. Like they completely didn't like. Good thing I'm not depending too much on mana now. Oh sure, yeah. Just play all your cards. Just put them on the table. Totally kosher. Oh, Tamiyo of your own, huh? All right. Well, that's a dismember, which is very good here. Let's go to attack. Yep. Tamiyo on Tamiyo action. I think this is just make sure that dismember resolves. Okay, that's a big deal. Let's brainstorm. I'm going to put back one of my Namors and a land. Yeah, that's plenty of lands. Deck. I think, yeah, I'll keep 2 lands. Pains me. No, I just want to keep 1. Yeah, we're fine. I would like to play the second Tamiyo out, but I might need to brainstorm again. It feels bad to hold her just as fodder, especially because they're almost certainly just going to prismatic ender. I do have the clock working. Oh no. Red mana, are you going to 4th Aerolingus me? I guess it's better that it happens now than later. The One Ring. Here I thought you were a gentleman and a scholar. Now I see you're just another hoodlum. Okay. So, and unlimited cards, unlimited mana. What could go wrong? Yeah, I thought I was winning for a second. You have Pyroblast too? There's just no way, like, my deck is not designed to go against One Ring decks that also have double Carpet of Flowers. I think I'm going to save us some time here. All right. So, yeah, sorry. All right. So, quick note as we go into round 3. We are going to get no-landers at a higher rate than normal because we're using Lorien Revealed, and we need a land to kick off Lorien Revealed. Here, it wouldn't have really mattered, but like 18 blue sources, essentially, but really it's just 16. We're up against a control gamer, which is very exciting to get 3 control gamers in a row, and they haven't revealed the Yorion, so this might actually be like somewhat of a contest. I'm going to put back this island here, and I am going to do the most powerful start that a blue deck can do in Legacy, because it's not like I have anything to protect this. And what we're going to do is we're just going, like, if I force here a removal spell, I can flip her immediately. I'm going to force this. I know it may seem extreme, but there's a very real chance that I can riddle next turn. Actually, it's not that high, is it? Actually, it is. It's high enough. And they don't have a daze. Yeah, this is just insane that we're gonna commit a crime here. They may have a force, but they didn't force earlier because we were like, I'll take that 2 for 1. What they didn't know was I was just setting up. Boom! Got force on deck. If we force something, we're drawing extra card. No, we're not, because I keep getting ahead of myself. No, it's warped. It's warped. I didn't stifle it. Oh, wow. These are some tasty islands. A tasty swamp. I love it. My basics come out and represent. We're up against... Oh, man, we bricked. Yeah, I think this could be Bowmaster. I just need to be tactical about how I deploy it. I'm going to play this out. I am going to plus, and then we just need to clue at the right time. They Bowmaster. I'm probably supposed to force it, though. I'm going to go ahead and go for this right now just to see what I draw. Oh, that's very good. So now, I think, am I supposed to let this resolve? Because I want to get this sorcery in the yard so that I can flow state. But I'm worried that I don't find a dismember. It's also possible that I just naturally draw. This will ping, but it doesn't do anything beyond that. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Call me crazy. Flow state is so busted in that it's not drawing a card. So, okay, you did a good job. You pinged her. I'll have to clear you with a dismember before I can win. Oh, that's pretty good, huh? Well, I think I just let them do it because they're going to put this in the yard anyway, and then I could just Lorien later. There's no reason to go get the island. They probably take the force because then they can use... If they can defend this, then I can't Tommy Ultimate. Yeah, I was right. They took the force. But I am going to get a good flow state unless they can clear my graveyard. Delta Fetch. UC. Nethergoyf. That's a big guy. So they're playing the down and dirty Nethergoyf version, which I might be correct. I have been playing a lot of Nethergoyf on my channel, but like just with the Moon Shadow, where like they're the only threats in the deck basically. I need to go find... I need flow state to reveal like double dismember. That would be the dream. I will just play this land out. I don't think it really matters. Huh, wait a second. If I'm minus... No, I have to keep plussing. I have to be optimistic. If they counter this, it sucks. So I don't want the land for sure. I'll take the Tamio and play her out, I guess. Just as a blocker. Yeah, she's a big enough blocker actually to keep my opponent back for a turn cycle. Crazy. And then Quantum Riddler arrives. But I need probably another land. I don't want to walk into a turn, end days, whatever turn we're on. So this does grow to the point that it can damage Tamio, unfortunately. That's fine. It doesn't even matter at this point. I wasn't going to sacrifice her anyway. That's 3 loyalty. Ouch. They're down to 1 card, though, which gives me hope. Merc as the last card. I think I have to force, and then I do have to try my luck with the Riddler here. I don't want to deal with the giant Merc. Okay. They get their card. This could be a daze. Force of Negation. All right, so first things first. I'm going to plus here. If I minus, I lose Tamio, but I definitely get Riddler through. If I don't have Riddler, I'm going to lose Tamio anyway. No, I'm going to just plus. If they have a daze, they have a daze. I'll just go to the game 3 or game 2. Okay, we're in. Ouch. All right. Yeah, that Bowmasters was a real pain. Had I known that they were going to draw Thoughtseize, I definitely would have forced it. Another Nethergoyf. They still don't have good attacks. I can't believe they scooped to that. They were not in that bad of a position. Okay, but what? They just scooped the match? Just if you're watching, I hope everything's going okay with you. Ace-5, maybe something just came up. Right, we're up against a likely Delver player. How did you get purple text? All right, so let's think about this. How do we like this hand versus Delver? There's a very real risk that we just don't draw a second land. I think I'm supposed to mull this. This feels a lot better. So we can just Lorien cycle for the second land. Yeah, I need the force just because Cutter is so devastating if it resolves. Yeah, I'm going to put back this land. I just don't need it. I'll probably find one at some point. But 2 lands is enough to at least get going. Okay, that's a dismember for sure. I'm not going to give them a chance to generate value off of it. I'm just going to kill it. I actually think I might force, if they force this, or if they daze this, it's so bad. But that's just being on the draw in Legacy, unfortunately. They force. If you're forcing, I'm forcing. So I am going to be using this Lorien revealed. I don't need a sorcery in my graveyard. So I'll just pitch this Ponder. Would have been great to get Namor cooking. The Ponder on the stack. All right. They whiffed on land. That's crazy. I'll take it. Back to basics will be pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and make my land drop and just pass with the Brainstorm up. I will be a little bit embarrassed if I don't find a land here in a minute. I don't want to give them a daze because they may be able to daze with like minimal consequence. That's fine. Bobble. They're going to do the bobble trick to bobble themselves. We can just wall this with Namor, and I think we should. I think that's the line. Hopefully they don't have days. Okay, he's a 1/4. They could bolt in addition, but they won't lose the Delver. I think I'm not supposed to block for this turn cycle. It feels bad to not block. All right, does he flip? He does. Days entered. Oh, no. Pondering. Still trying to find land number 2. Very elusive. If they don't have the land, then I just block. Save myself 3 damage. But they have the land. I just need to chill and take the damage, sadly. I definitely want to cast a Brainstorm. Or even Back to Basics gives me a token. Oh, what? They didn't attack? This is only a 1/4, dude. You can totally attack. All right. And now it's a 0/0. Let's kick things off with the Brainstorm. Once they tap this, I may deploy the Back to Basics. Flow State. You don't say. We know they have a daze, so I'll just wait a turn. I don't think Back to Basics is spectacular here. I'll hold up the Brainstorm. I could just go ahead and cut this, and then I can attack in. I think that's totally fine. It's too bad Dismember isn't an honorary blue spell for the purpose of Namor. I don't expect them to have hasty beats, but they absolutely could have Cutter next turn. But I do need to get them dead. I've got a chump blocker on the ground. So we can't Brainstorm or really do anything because we know they have a daze. Yeah, that is a good flow state, but that does tie them up for a turn cycle. I'm actually thinking about just brainstorming just to trade with their daze and get a dude. I actually think that's worth it because it's a lot of damage. This is really cool, by the way. Holy guacamole. Well, yeah, we'll just flow state. And I'll probably not take the Back to Basics. All right, we're going to do the thing with Namor. Check this out. This is just so sweet. They could have double days. We're just getting like really big, really quickly. They force it. All right. I can't do anything about it. I'll just swing for a ton. And I will be forcing Cutter around days. And that will generate 2 more bodies. This is so sweet. I'm loving this card. What is not to love about Namor? He's got sick art. He's a merfolk. And he's totally dominating this game. They gave him the right toughness that he doesn't know how to bolt. They could have made him a 1/6 though, just so he didn't die to other stuff. All right, so now it's a little trickier because I don't want him to die. I'm not going to Back to Basics. That's going to be fodder for my Force of Negation. Are we flowing? Dismember. It's dangerous. I think I take the flow state and make them crash into me. I do want this Lorien. They're representing days over there. I think I'm supposed to take the Lorien and the flow state. Yeah, I think that's actually the safest thing. We're going to land. And yeah, I am going to make them just crash in and they can burn a bolt on it or whatever. And then I'll just kill them with all my other stuff. I have flow state. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't want to take any damage. Call me a coward, but like I've died so many times to them just doing insane stuff. Like just doing massive damage to me out of nowhere with Cutter. Okay, they've been a waste. Seems like a sensible thing to fin here. Wasteland will find no quarter. All right, flow state. I'll let it trigger, and then I am going to go ahead and just counter it. Because this draws them closer to Cutter. I don't want them to draw solutions to my Namor. Just devastate. Look at this guy. He's 7/4. You have to attack. I'll take the 3, and then I'll just kill you. How about that? I am not going to block this. And again, my reasoning is, let's see, even if they have land, bolt, I'm still fine. I'm going to kill you. I'll just kill you in the air with Namor. Style on you. Boom with the flow state. Gosh, I didn't get to see my flow state. You're supposed to wait. All right. Man, that was awesome. Love Namor. Love Hydroblast in the sideboard. This is going to be fun. I don't think Narset is the right call for this matchup. Almost all their cards that we want to kill are red. So we could go down a couple Dismembers. I don't actually think Back to Basics is where we want to be here. I'll take all the consigns out. Yeah, and I'll keep the Dismembers in. Like, killing an early Tamio could be the difference maker. And we don't have a good way to meaningfully pressure Tamio. That is a blind spot in our deck. I mean, I guess in theory, like we could just draw get so many creatures out that like even if they Tamio ultimate, They can't ever really, like, no, we would lose Tamio for sure. And they had it game 1. Yeah, Tamio is a huge blind spot for this deck. I'm not playing Brazen Borrower because I don't have any tempo elements, and I don't like to play Brazen Borrower in tempo or non-tempo decks. I'm not playing Boomerang Basics because I'm not playing Storm Chaser talent, so I don't have that answer. If you wanted to be able to reliably beat Tamio, you just would need a different deck altogether. I like this because it has mana, and it's just like if they Tamio and then they immediately flip her, we're screwed. But I'm gonna try not to live in that world. That's not as bad. They didn't have the bauble follow up, but nowadays you hold the bauble so you can get crazy value. All right, it's not bad. I do need an instant, but I think I'm supposed to go ahead and ponder here. I might find a force, which will be important. How are we feeling about these cards? Namor is pretty good. I think we want him. I don't want this island for sure. Let's go like that, and then I have to fetch next turn. But I don't have an instant. So I am pretty worried about this DRC just doing a lot of damage to me early on in the game. And then, like, yeah, maybe that was a shuffle. I justified it with, like, I don't want to draw more land. But actually, I don't have that many lands in my deck, so it's not really that big of a risk. Okay, the good news is they haven't flipped her yet. But if they have a post-combat thing, they should have just done a pre-combat. Because in theory, they could... Oh, wow. They're coming on hard. Yeah, I don't have a lot of options here. I know I'm drawing a brick, so I'm just going to cycle. It's not a total brick, but like it was like a ponder. Come on, Hydro. Force. It's a little too late. I think I'm dead. They're going to do so much damage. We'll see whether Delver flips, but... Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I actually think I need a force. As crazy as that sounds. Probably force pitching Namor. Oh, pitching a Riddler? That doesn't feel good. But I think it is correct, actually. Namor can block these things, and I can try to play him next turn. I do need to force, because I just can't take the extra damage if they're able to... they're keeping something on top. Yeah, we'll pitch a Riddler. They just got underneath us, getting Delvered over here. 3 freaking threats. They've got 1 card in hand, but they're about to draw another one. That felt horrible. Yeah. Did I let their triggers resolve before I forced? I may have screwed that up, actually. No, I waited for the triggers to resolve, I think. Okay, so yeah, we'll take 5. Great album. Draw naturally into something good. Oof. I think we're probably dead, but I'm going to play him out. I could have flow stated. Maybe that was smarter. If they flip, this is death. I'm just going to go to the next game. I think I punted really hard here. I'm not sure exactly how I screwed up. I don't think Namor was the play. Let's see what my flow state would have found. It would have found a Hydroblast and a Dismember, but like Dismember, we were so low in life. It still probably would have been worth casting, but note that like I would have had 3 mana and I would have gotten the Blast dazed. So I think I was dead. That game was just not meant for us to win. I know that may sound like a cop-out, but that's how I feel. Let's do this. On the play. Can't waste us. No lander. Again, that happens 10% of the time. So it's unlucky that it happened twice in the same round. Here, this is a Tamio with Tamio flip. That'll distract for a while. I'll just put back one of these mini lands. If I put back the fetch, I actually reduce the damage I'm taking. My hand's great. I'll probably actually... No. I know that I'm going to... Yeah, I know that I'm going to use it. I'll just do like that. Yeah, okay. All right, so we can't get dazed on our first spell. And then if they bolt, I just force, and then I have Brainstorm Flipper, and then I try to ride Tamio to victory, like I've done so many times in the past. I've got 560 megabits, 580 megabits, and MTGO is tanking. Come on, MTGO. Please. My deck takes forever to win. I guess this is game 3. It's not that big of a deal. All right, well, I guess I'm going to restart. My UI was like clunky anyway. All right. So we're back. We only lost like a couple minutes. Not a big deal. I will force a protector, but it feels so bad. I'm not going to stop that. Let's find one of those 4 pyros, or hydros rather. Quantum Riddler. That's pretty appealing. That'll definitely be what I do later. Let's attack. I definitely want to get to Hellbent. Like, I love getting the extra card when you warp. Okay, this is pretty chill. I don't need 2 forces. I've already made my land drop. I guess my question is, how much do I... Like, I know my lands are going to be fine. I like the extra gas of having the second Riddler. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Because Riddler, if it ever resolves, it's just devastating for them. So now I can force something, and then I can Riddle. I think I do force the second one. It's a lot to deal with over here. And now I'm in the Riddler zone, so to speak. I actually kind of regret not keeping a land there. Wait, did I put the land on top? I think I put force back, so I think I actually am drawing a land here. Hopefully this is correct. Yes. Okay. Thank goodness. All right. So first things first, we want to regrow the force. No, because then we don't get the card. I don't think they're going to force this. They may pyro it though. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fetch. I don't want that force on its own top. Actually, I probably should have taken that. I think I just punted. Yeah, I think I should have taken that force. All right. Final plus. I am going to go ahead and just ponder. Just looking for more stuff to do, like a brainstorm to put this island back. They're interacting here. Are they going to daze? Just Thundering Falls with me. They may daze to put this back in their hand if they don't have any action. Oh, Hydroblast. Ohio gozaimasu. I definitely want you. Ohio gozaimasu is just like good morning in Japanese. I don't know why I said it like Ohio gozaimasu. Like an American. Okay, anyway. Check out my Japanese channel. I'll speak better Japanese than that on that. Okay. Yeah, I have a Japanese channel where I just play leagues, but I do all the commenting in Japanese. Okay, so this is totally fine. It's a 2-for-1. Always look on the bright side of life. They're going to come over for 1. That's fine. I'm going to clear it this turn. And then I'm going to riddle again. Okay. Let's go ahead and hydro. I want to do this now. I should have done this with the ability on the stack. Because now if they like pyro. Okay, I'll take 2 cards. Sure. All right. Unfortunately, they're bricks. I think I just need a weighted turn cycle, and then I can brainstorm, put back the bricks. Ponder. Okay. Ponder is resolved. What are we doing? Flow state. It's a good card. Not going to brainstorm it to a force. It's too important that I put back both these lands. Now I think I'm in serious risk for them having a second Pyroblast. I'm going to bring this Riddler out. I think this is actually beautiful. So Altamio here. I'll just pass. And I've got a Brainstorm to protect her. And I'm fine taking the slow road. Because I want to stick this land anyway. So I can cast Riddler around Pyro. Flow stating again. I'm going to let it happen. Like my opponent is playing the big Delver deck with the flow states. And I'm fine with them being rewarded for that. I'm a bigger control deck. I'm not that scared. Look at their top card, deciding whether they need to shuffle. If this is marker, I'm actually kind of sad. I think I need to fight this. Yeah, I think I do need to fight this. They've got 4 cards over there, though. What are the odds that I'm going to start with just a clue crack. Dismember. You know, it's possible that I dismember. Let's think about this. This is a big guy. He's going to be a full size, I think. Let's see what they exiled here. Actually, it's 7/7. So if I can riddle, I think I take a hit. And then, I mean, if I get both of these out, this isn't a big deal. Yeah, I do want the clue. I don't think it's nothing. So they'll get a card. I'll get a card. Gosh. I pretty much have to succeed in brainstorming here. I maybe should have played it on land there. So I'll attack. I'm going to go ahead and just assume. I'm going to give them the credit that they were going to block that. Actually, if I dismember, this is small enough that it doesn't. Oh, I can just double dismember. I'm here for that. If they counter the second one, it's devastating though. Am I supposed to riddle into an environment as uncertain as this? Because, like, let's say I dismember, and then I dismember again, and I didn't kill it. Like, I'm in serious trouble. So I am going to fetch away those excess lands. But if I kill it, like, now is the time to do it. Am I going to survive a turn cycle? I think I do. Man, I might lose if they have the force. They may have taken their forces out against me. I'll go to I'm losing so much life here. I could have absolutely waited, but I couldn't really wait. Like, this has to work. They force. I'm going to fetch. What can I even find? Because I have to crack this. I can find another dismember. I'm at 8. Oh, yeah, I think I just lost. I think I punted. I don't think I was supposed to do that. They probably have to take a turn off to kill Tamio, but they may just go for me. They have a bolt. I'll be at 2. Yeah, I think I just totally threw this game away. I don't think it was a great prospect. Like, I could have deployed the Riddler. Yeah, they're just looking for a bolt to finish me off here. That was embarrassing. Okay, brainstorm. Just digging through the... Where are my bolts? Bring me my bolts. If I get another turn, it's not the end of the world. Like, I can riddle and have a chump blocker for a turn cycle. But, like, my dismembering days are over. Like, I just used up all my life. You got the bolt? If they attack me, I'll know they have the bolt. They're actually attacking Tommy, so they didn't find the bolt. That's great for me. So I can play the land and then riddle. They have Delver. That's another threat that I have to worry about. If I find Namor, it's not good enough. All right, let's go ahead and do this. This has to happen. Frankly, there's just no alternative. This has to be cast, and hopefully it resolve. If they have a Pyro, that's the end of the game. With that card on the stack, I am supposed to brainstorm. I mean, another Tommy is not terrible because she can chump, and then I can deploy this. Submariner is another chumper that we have. I mean, like, it's crazy, but I think the card that goes back is actually Flow State. Okay. And I redrew it, so it's actually not that big of a deal. All right, so we'll play out the Tamio, which they'll easily be able to kill, or Daze, if Daze is in their deck, which maybe it's not because I'm playing so many islands. All right, and now Delver doesn't have good attacks. I did not deserve this chance at victory. Yeah, they're just going to brainstorm right now to try to flip it, but it's fine. I'll throw the Quantum Riddler in front of it. Like, they have to kill the Tamio, and then it's a force block with the Riddler. But if I get both Riddlers out, you better believe I'm going to try to double block Merc. I can get Namor down next turn, but he's just one dude. He can only do so much. Flow State, that's... they find a single bolt or blast, and I am toast. I had to tap out completely to defend myself here. Like, if I survive, it's just through insane luck, frankly, at this point. I have no business winning this game. All right. Okay, well, that's not a hard decision. We're going to block like this. All right, and they're maybe going to bolt this one. Okay, I am a little bit puzzled why I'm still alive. I'll take it. I do actually think I want to fetch just to get more mana flowing. Because I can Riddle and Namor. I think I do need to cast the Riddler. I don't think there's any question that needs to happen. There's no other answer in my deck. If they find a second Merc, they can make that gigantic. All right, let's try this. This Hydroblast is very good, though. Okay, they force. All right. I can stick in Namor, but it's not enough power to stop them. I think I need to Flow State into another Tamio, sadly. Okay. Things aren't looking good. They're not looking good at all. All right. Yeah, I'll just die. I mean, like Spell Snare. Wow, that's a deep cut. It's cool to lose to Spell Snare in 2026. I don't think I've even been successfully snared in so long. Yeah, good games. Well played. My opponent definitely outplayed me, and they deserve to win this game. All right, you guys, I just thought of a great idea. They need to take Swords of Plowshares and put it into one of those time-shifted sets where the Planar Chaos just print Swords of Plowshares in blue. Okay, that's my idea. So let's go ahead and look at this hand. We're up against a likely blue-black gamer, which means we probably want to hang on to the Dismember. We don't need to hang on to this fetch. I'm going to keep this. It's a very good hand. So we get into the flow state very quickly, which I very much like. Wait, I didn't even need a mulligan. Why did I even play that out? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to Lauren Revealed. Yeah, for some reason I'm so used to mulliganing my no-landers that I thought I had already mulliganed once. Okay. Push to the yard. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Do I need to do this? No. I could absolutely wait. But it's mana efficient. These are effectively ETB tap lands. I should have led with the island. I'm actually considering just brainstorming right now. Yeah, because I want to put these islands back. I definitely don't need them. My hand just got a lot better. Yeah, I don't need these. I'm going to go get an island. I don't need to do it now. Yeah, just in case I need to force of negate something. That's unlikely, but possible. And I don't want to cast Tamiyo into Daze, but actually, it's totally fine, actually. I'm totally cool with that. They bend a Fatal Push, which means they have another Fatal Push. So they'll probably just untap Fatal Push. Ponder. But now it makes me think they just didn't have very much land. They kept a greedy cape. Okay, so now they have Fatal Push up. And I don't think I want to let this get dazed. I think I just want to take the 1-for-1. So if I force negate, pitching flow state, that's a big pitch. Then I untap. I cycle. Like there's a decent chance that this gets the daze out of their hand so that my Riddler resolves. If we think of it just pure upside, let's think about this. So we force. No, I think I'm just going to take the flow state and let this go. I think what I'm proposing could be insanely strong if it works, but we don't need to do that. Time's on our side. Our deck is going to beat theirs if the game keeps going on. Okay, I forgot that I had a freaking land on top that I was supposed to cycle away. All right. Well, the good news is we got flow state without worrying about days. All right, and I'll just grab this consign and another island so I can preserve my life total. And now we can just pitch the Lorien revealed if we need to. If they are suddenly on Car, which they have played in the past, we have an answer to that. All right, beautiful choice of island. That's what I play in paper. I think we're supposed to let this go, but that does mean that I don't want to lose my Riddler. It's by far the best card in my hand. I'll just pitch consign. It sucks to have to do this, but I think it's fine. Because my hand's getting smaller. I'm going to play out the land, and then I can riddle, and I can just fail to find to get 2 cards if I want to. Yeah, they do get 2 cards off this. This is strong. And I don't think Riddler, like cheating Riddler into play is that, such an insane play that it's necessary. I am going to lower and cycle here because I know I have another island on top. All right, let's untap. Okay, Riddler number 2. I'll just do it once. See what I find. I actually might do it a second time just to get these out of my hand. So because they're in danger right now. No more. All right, I'm just going to do it again. Like they could daze this. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't want to, like, if they Thoughtseize me, who cares? Now I've got a pair of, planar chaos shifted Source of Plowshares. Next turn, I can start casting these out of, I don't think they have daze. I can start casting these out of exile. Another flow state. Well, they're getting ahead. They haven't presented any threats, which makes me worry that maybe they are on Doomsday or something like that. Merc. So what happened last time we double dismembered Merc? We proceeded to quickly lose the game. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to try the Riddler, but I don't have a lot of time. Namor is not going to kill Merc by himself. Yeah, let's just try this. I don't think it's going to resolve, but if it does, yay. What? Okay, well, that's great. All right, and now I just wait a turn cycle, and then I try to get this guy out, and then I can double block. And I also have the double dismember if I have to, but I'm going to take 6. It's not the end of the world. Okay, they're coming across. It's worth pointing out they have Snuff Out, but they don't have just a ton of cards in their deck that deal with Quantum Riddler. Fatal Push doesn't do it. I mean, playing this Namor has been really fun, but just imagine if Namor was a freaking Murktide of my own. Just imagine how much better is Murktide than Namor. I don't think there's any question. We've done some cool stuff, but I don't think I would have struggled with these previous games if I was casting Murktides. So options. 1. No, I'm just going to attempt to cast them out of exile. They could Bowmaster me. It's only 1 ping. I'm going to wait till he resolves, and then I'm going to dismember him. So they don't get the trigger. I don't want them to daze me. All right. And if they're going to daze, I don't want the big flying guy that's going to double block this guy. I don't want that to die. I'm okay with, now they need to clear a lot. It's going to be harder for them to survive here. They do have the force. Okay, so that sticks. I take 1 because I only draw 1. It's a back to basics, which is very good in this situation if I could stabilize. So I'll double block the Merc, which is a force block. Hopefully they won't be able to stop it. And then I'm going to take 3 damage from the Bowmaster. And then I'm under the specter of Bowmaster for a while. Oh. Yeah, Not good. All right, let's go to the next game. Again, imagine if he was a Murktide. I tell you what, I'll play another version. Like, I'll just play the Murktide version, and I promise, like, we won't be struggling like we are. But I wanted to give him a fair shake. I put 4 of them in my deck. Piracy Charm, get in the deck. This is your time. We don't need consent. It's really just an anti-combo card. Again, I don't think early arrival of Riddler is so strong that it's justified. We can kill one more card. I'm not clear on what card that should be. Probably 1 back to basics. Usually I just play 1, but because I wanted to challenge myself by not playing Merc. A lot of times, like I'll try to like not play Tomio or not play Merc. They're obviously the correct things to be playing, but I'll do it just to like spice it up a little bit. Variety is the spice of life. We don't have to worry about getting wasted. I think this is fine. We got an answer to Merc, or we don't have an answer to Merc, but we have an answer to like. I'll probably pitch to back to basics. This is going to be about card draw. This matchup is usually about who draws the most cards, but Merc changes that logic. I think this is great. I don't want the second Dismember, I don't think. Maybe I could have given myself the option instead of just taking these lands, but I'll probably want these lands. All right, Tamio. She's going to get dismembered. And I do have a second Dismember on top of my deck. I think I'm supposed to take it. And then what I can do, I just have to, I want to be able to force and negate if they have a force, but I think I'm just going to like accept the L if they get to make a clue, and then I'll just dismember the next turn. So now what I'll have to do is I'll have to force the Brainstorm, which is really tragic, frankly, because I don't want to deal with the flip Tomio. Again, my deck is like extremely weak to flip Tomio. I'll probably pitch the Piracy Charm. They get a clue. Do they have the Brainstorm? Okay. They don't have the Brainstorm yet that I know of. Let's take this Dismember. Play my land out. I think this is just pass, but if I pass, I think I go to the upkeep, and then I can Dismember, and then I can force, and then they're tapped out for the turn cycle, and hopefully back to basics bites them. That would be the dream. Maybe they're just like, oh, who cares? They're not going to have back to basics. Nobody plays back to basics anymore. But this way, they don't get a clue, which is a big deal if they do get one. So, ouch. Dismember has really been like cutting into me this game. This entire league, really. I mean, it's a good card. It's good to have actual removal and not just... I tried a league previously with Unable to Scream. I was just like, I'll play Unable to Scream. Pitches of force, blah, blah, blah. Like, just win like 0-5 or something. You cannot play without removal in Legacy. It just doesn't work unless you're some sort of crazy combo deck. So here, we're just going to draw a card. They got another 2 for 1. Okay. So I think I need to wait on back to basics, frankly. I have the Piracy Charm up. I'm just going to go for this. They don't have a Wasteland. I'll just do it. I'll just get it in Warp. And now they're going to Bowmaster. And then I just kill the Bowmaster with Piracy Charm. And then they force back. And then I'm a sad boy. They're going to ping me. I'll take it. Does my Riddler resolve? Okay, now I'm going to go use my very cool tech card, Piracy Charm. Snipe your dude over there. And I'm so close to like drawing an extra card, but I don't think I'm going to get there. Do they have the force? They don't. Okay, we get our card. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. If we force and then we slam the back to basics, that'll be so beautiful. That's what I need to happen. Oh man, I really wish I could jam this back to basics. I'm definitely going to be pitching force and trying to live the back to basics dream here. Bye-bye, Riddler. Sweet Prince, we'll see you in a little bit, hopefully. Crack those clues. Just tap all your freaking mana. Tap it all. I should take a natural draw. There's no reason to fetch yet. Another Riddler is nice. Right, let's back to basics them. They've already used all their fetches. I force this. Then next turn I just jam Riddler and we'll be able to win. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm low in life though. They could just Merc here. I'd probably lose. Because I don't have a Merc of my own. I've got this, beautiful card that is very balanced, but it's just not Legacy power level. Namor. Okay. Namor is like a Legacy card from like a few years ago. Like he would totally be like a format staple if he was printed like even like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. But it's hard to be a Namor in this world. Okay, so here, I think I'm supposed to go for the Riddler off of this. Am I just going to die? Like if it gets days. It's not that big of a deal. They get a land back in their hand. It's an ETB tap land. So yeah, I think I just need to go for it. But if I play the one from Warp and they have Bowmasters and I don't have a blocker, it's devastating. Okay, we're in. Bowmaster? No Bowmaster! Holy guacamole, and we drew more! We're doing okay. We're okay. That'll do, pig. All right, they found a land. That is a permanent source. Okay. That is strong. All right. They have a permanent mana source now. Do we Namor here? I actually think we do. Namor, you're coming in. It's your time to shine, buddy. You don't. I don't lose the Bowmasters with Namor out. And like, sadly, I really do need to wait on the Brainstorm because they could just totally have it. They're gonna go fetch like a swamp or an island, and they will have permanent mana source. Okay, what is this? All right, please don't have a Bowmasters. I really need a blocker. What? We won! All right, we have to go to game 3, but like that. Okay, Namor, you're redeemed. You're redeemed. Now that they've seen the back to basics, I think the value goes to like near 0. I think dress down might be okay here. Maybe we do want early arrival. Yeah, I think consign is probably fine. Just no, it's so weak. So weak. I'm going to do the dress down. It's not like a perfect tool, but like being able to dress down when and get our cantrips out of our hand mid game would have been really strong. This seems great. This is actually a solid hand. It doesn't have a lot of interaction, but we can get the Tamio into Riddler into Namor. Just like keep threatening them basically. They didn't learn their lesson. They're not fetching basics. They've got Snuff House. They've got so much interaction. I don't know that I'm supposed to wait on the Tamio. Main problem is, yeah, I'm going to make them like burn interaction. I'm totally fine if this just gets the days. Maybe this is greedy, but I need to bridge to the mid game. And how do we do that? We keep the board clear of threats because they're spending time trying to answer my Tamio. Again, her strength is she's the ultimate distraction. They've never printed a better distraction than her. Okay, so she's dead. That's not a big deal. Now they have Bowmasters up. So there's that. Ponder. I don't need to ponder. What I'll do is I will just fill up my graveyard with goodies when they cast this Bowmasters that they're about to cast. I really wish I wasn't such a Cassandra, seeing what is going to happen but being completely powerless over it. Yeah, I think we put back the land. We don't need that. We can just go get one off this, and then we'll have instant sorcery. Submariner could be dazed. I do want the Tamio just because she can block for a couple turns, even though we can't really draw. I don't think I need this Ponder. I think that's the weakest card. Riddler will be good if we bridge high enough. I think it's necessary to keep it around. Tamio, yeah, that's annoying. The most annoying part about Tamio is the fact that I have no way to pressure her at all currently. Okay, well, I'm going to fetch. I don't know why you did that. Do you have a stifle? Okay, you threw away a land, dude. I guess it's fine. I'm going to play no more, and at least I can keep them back for a couple turns. This is a horrendous matchup, though, because they have the Bowmasters, and they have Murktide, which I should have, but I don't. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure they're telegraphing that they have days if they're making that play because they're trying to bait me into doing something dumb. But little do they know, I have 0 interaction. It doesn't really even matter. All right, so let's go ahead and Lorien Cycle here just to get our sorcery in the yard in case we magically draw a flow state, which we can actually cast around days. I don't want to cast the Submariner into Oblivion. Dismember is pretty clean. We cut here, and then we can riddle. It's not good enough. I think I'm supposed to play this out and just hold up the Dismember. They can regrow a Snuff. Man, this is going to be freaking massive by the time we get a crack at it. I actually don't think we can win anymore. Because by the time we get, it's so frustrating. There's no way I can win. There's no way. I guess I could have YOLO'd Namor. He's going to get days. I'm pretty sure by the way that they wastelanded there, they had a days. Yeah, they should have actually. Yeah, Yeah, maybe I was supposed to play Namor there and just like at least there's some chance. But I think with Tamiyo, she can block, but there's just no way I can win. Because like let's say hypothetically I play Namor. I also have to have a force and he has to resolve. I'm going to keep playing, but like I just note that I think the game's over. Leave a comment if you think that there's some line that I'm not seeing where I actually have a chance. And again, like if I had Merc in my deck, like Merc could threaten a Tamiyo flow state. They have a perfect flow state. That's also quite strong. I think this is probably my best window to just kill this thing. My life total doesn't matter anymore. It's 100% about like stopping Tamiyo now. They're going to go to 8 and then I got a turn cycle. So I can stick Namor and maybe find a force or something to create some extra bodies, put some extra power behind Namor. They're probably going to find a land. They might have a Thoughtseize. Yeah, I mean, she's in my deck too. But like my deck is just very poorly designed. I mean, that's technically does do stuff. I'm going to attack to create a clue. I don't think it matters, but I will want that clue later. My life total doesn't matter. Namor either resolves or he doesn't. And if he does, and they cast some spell that I can counter, then I have enough merfolk that I might be able to pressure. If I draw cantrips or something, any removal spell, and he's dead. Let's go to their turn. Please go to my turn before you try to kill him. I need this Force of Negation on. They're fetching. This is hopefully just a Surveil. Okay, thank goodness. So unless they have exactly snuff out, I can survive. They've been a Tamiyo. They just, if I were them, I just wouldn't cast anything. This gives me one body, which is enough to knock exactly one loyalty off. I need to do it though. No, it gives me 2 bodies. Okay. And now I can riddle, which is probably suicide. They do have the Bowmasters. This pings one of the bodies. So I need to cast something next turn, but like pretty much anything I cast is going to draw me cards, which is going to result in Namor having less power because they'll just ping my creatures that I'm creating. Let's see. I don't want to break and draw a land. I think I'm supposed to just go ahead and fire this off just to maximize my draws. Dismember. Ouch. Ouch. Draw trigger. They brainstorm. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. Okay. I get 2 cards off Riddler. And then I just need one of them to be a blue spell that I can cast. And then I have enough power to keep Tamiyo from ultimating next turn. Oh! Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, I can't cast this. I could draw a card. Like, there's no world in which I beat a Tamiyo ultimate. I know you may be thinking, oh, just try to beat the Tamiyo ultimate. Like, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, we were so close. Good games, well played. Okay, so let's do a quick deck clinic because this deck clearly needs to be improved upon. We did get a 2-3, which is not abysmal, but considering one of our opponents ran to run off, I feel like the Tamiyo matchup is just atrocious here. So this is definitely like a learning league, and then I'll play a serious league afterward. So here's our current build. First, I think we just want 1 back to basics main, and we could probably just trim the 4th Hydroblast. I just didn't know what to put in there, frankly. We don't want the consigns main at all. We can throw that in the sideboard, and we can just get rid of 1. And then we can go down a dress down. So I think the sideboard's already looking a little bit better. I did like the Narset. That was really cool. This is an aberrational league, and I think every single round was blue decks, which was really cool. I love that. That blue, like Legacy's in a good place if blue is the deck that people are playing and it's not mono brown. So that does give us space for Murktide. Main problem is Murktide doesn't synergize with the deck at all. Like if anything, you want to leave stuff in your graveyard so you can get the flow state juiciness. 4 Namor is definitely not correct. You might want, I mean, really for like legendary creatures, you also want 1. Tamiyo being accepted because she's exceptionally broken and should have been banned a long time ago. Yeah, then you have a little bit of flex if you really just do want to do 2. But what I wouldn't do like all these Force Negations, frankly. I would do Spell Pierce. So let's take a look at what the Spell Pierce deck would look like. Spell Pierce is a little awkward because you can't just like cast it willy-nilly at any point. You need like a very specific type of spell to target. But it is a vastly better card than main deck Force Negation. So here we're still kind of keeping the spirit of the original deck. I think 3 Murktide is probably too many. I think we could probably get away with 2. And then it just, like, the deck really wants a second color, frankly. I think this deck really just wants to be Stifle Pup. I hate to say it, but I think Stifle Pup is like so much better positioned. You do need Tundras to play Stifle Pup. But if you wanted to stick with this like version that's not tempo at all, you could bring the second back to basics back in. You do probably want to play Force of Negation just because you're a mono blue deck, and that's one of the strengths of the deck is you can just clown. You could probably go down to 2 Piracy Charm. It's a very kind of like techie type card. You could bring the dress downs in the main. I don't hate that at all because it's a great card, frankly. And it doesn't synergize well with Namor. Basically, Namor sees it, it gets a thing, but then Namor becomes like a 0-1, unfortunately, or 0-4, which doesn't do any attack. Maybe you do it after combat, but it is disynergist in a way that like Murktide doesn't care if there's, a dress down, as long as he's not resolving. Tommy doesn't really care, so just wait and flip later, So I'm not sure exactly what to do with this mono blue deck. I will show you a list that I'm kicking around for when they come out with this new card, Bilbo. So here's the list I'm thinking. Bilbo is going to be insane. So Bilbo basically reads, it's too small for me to read it here. Let me pull it up. Bilbo, Thief in the Night. Spells you cast. Okay, so it's a 1 colorless, 1 blue, 2/2, not a 2/1. Sorry, Mr. Loki. Yeah, Loki's good too, but Bilbo, Thief in the Night. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. Whenever Bilbo attacks, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If an instant or sorcery, so it's basically Dreadheart Arcanist, but it can also cast artifacts, and it also can cast any spell that costs mana. It doesn't have to be a 1-drop. But with Dreadheart Arcanist, which is a card that was banned, it was a red creature, first of all, which is way weaker because it doesn't pitch to force and you have to play a second color. But like this is way better than Dreadheart Arcanist because, yes, you do have to pay mana, but you're still getting card advantage. I mean, it's like 1 mana. It's not the end of the world. Like, I understand. But Dreadheart Arcanist is just like kind of a crappy card. This is like a lot better. Now, this is legendary, so it is vulnerable to Karakas, but like nobody plays freaking Karakas right now. There's very little white going around. I think earlier we established that the cheapest Guru land is the Plains. So here's the list I was thinking. I think we jam it into a Stormchaser talent deck, and then we have the Boomerang Basics, and you can just, like, whenever you attack, I'll just bounce one of your things, right? And you can cast sorceries at instant speed when he's attacking. So you Boomerang Basics their blocker. Or with Dismember, you just pay 4 life. You don't even have to pay the mana because he decreases the cost. Flow State is 1 blue mana. I mean, this just seems like incredibly cracked. I would be surprised if it stays legal for more than a year, but it probably will stay legal just because Wizards is so slow to ban things. But then you can just play it in a tempo list. So I think like tempo is probably stronger than control in general right now. Today we tried to take a control list, and there were lots of problems with that. But I did enjoy getting Narset out, and I did enjoy going up against these tempo decks. But like frankly, if your control deck is losing to tempo, your control deck kind of sucks. Like, tempo shouldn't be what you're losing to. You should be losing to combo. And we lost to 2 tempo decks. So, yeah. I think it comes down to Dismember is not Plow. So, if I had no restrictions, if I could just play Tundras, let me show you what the list would look like. All right, and here we go. It's essentially just Stifle Pup without the stifle. And then you can play Flow State, which is a very good card. And you can get Karakas in here, which interacts favorably with your Felia and your Tamios. And you can play a Road, which I love. I think this card is so strong. I've even got one on the sideboard. You can play Wrath of the Skies. You can still play the Force of Negation and the Narsets. I love Narset here. Consign seems really strong too. But I think the main thing to note is like Namor is probably a one of. And like frankly, what's to stop you from just turning him into days number 4, or maybe not days number 4. Yeah, like my point is, Namor isn't that strong. I think he came back and he saved me that one game, but in general, I just think that this just isn't like a legacy power level card. It doesn't fit in Merfolk because you just aren't casting instances sorceries. I did a league with him and he did okay, but it was like I think can't remember. I think we had a positive record, but like even there, it just felt like, okay, well, this is like, I'd be better off just playing like lower to the ground Merfolk. This feels win more. And I'd say in this type of deck, it is good, but man, there are a lot of freaking dazes in Legacy right now. I think it was a part of at least 3 of the rounds we were in, and it's just so hard to get Namor on the table. And then he does die to Pyro. He doesn't die to Bolt, which is nice. But then it feels like you're investing 3 mana and you're not necessarily getting anything for it. Like a lot of times I would have a Force of Negation, but I wouldn't immediately be able to protect him. And I think in the final game, there was a situation where I could have potentially like Force of Negated, but I needed to wait to pass the turn, and then I was able to get the value off of him. But even then, he wasn't enough to attack Tommy. I think the answer, like sadly, is just going to big old boring Murktide. Like this card is so boring, but every time I don't play it, I can feel like, well, I'm playing like a less powered version of the deck. So what I would do is I would just, put a Karakas in there. You still got your 8 fetches, but you've got the ability to fetch a basic and play on basic island, basic plains. Technically, you can't win without the second blue. Right? Yeah, you can't win without the second blue. I think that's, maybe we probably want to add 1 more blue. So maybe we do like this and we take out one of the Tundras. And then we have the ability to play off all basics if we want to. And yeah, because we do want to be able to cast Riddler from exile just in case they have somehow Blood Mooned us, which almost never happens in Legacy right now. But it is, I think it'd be an embarrassing oversight to not be able to win just because your opponent Blood Mooned, even though you got 2 basics, you just can't cast your win cons because we don't have a way to bounce or anything. Yeah, I think this would be good. I'm not sure that Erode is where you want to be main deck. Like what I think would probably be better is just have the Erodes inside, and then you have a single prismatic ending. And I am convinced Stifled Pup is not great. Like I know I trophied with it like the one time I played it, and I've lost to it a lot. And I know all the combo players are like, oh, it's so terrible. How am I ever supposed to beat this deck? But I still feel like Flow State is so good and you want to take full advantage of it. So what I would do, like, again, no shade of Namor, but I just cut him and I just probably play this list. I mean, I hate to say it, but you probably want to play 4 Dazes too. I mean, Daze is just such an insane card. I know, like, I always trim down to 3 and then I'm just like, why am I only playing 3 Dazes? Legacy's so fast. Whenever Legacy gets really fast, Daze gets really good. So I'll leave it there. I do think that having Wraths on the sides and having Plow instead of the stinky card that we had there, which was super duper awkward, having to dismember, double dismember, and then they forced the second dismember, and then we promptly lose because we lost 8 life trying to kill their Murktide. You got to have an answer to Murktide. And I do think Bilbo, like with the tempo type decks, you can potentially get under Murktide, but sooner or later, we're going to have to answer a Murktide, and dismember doesn't do it. So yeah, like that's my current read on. I've tried several times on the channel recently to do a mono blue control, no reserve list, and I've always struggled. I think I'm going to try something like this. So I'll look for a league video like this. I know it's not no reserve list, but it should be a lot of fun. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.